Hello, everybody, and welcome to my podcast, Fear Fighter. I am your host, Shannon Mondor. Today's episode is a continuation of my series, You Are Not the Only One. I was brought forth to do this series because during my healing from my addiction to alcohol, there were so many times that the universe had brought me to silence. And during those times is when I learned so many things about myself, and I was guided. I was guided to talk openly about my past, my abuse, my addiction, and to speak my truth. From those moments of silence is when we learn, we grow, and then we teach and help others. Today, I have a very special guest by the name of Shannon Verhelst. And Shannon is here to talk to us today about the time that she was brought to stillness and what she learned. Shannon is a humanitarian and she is an intuitive. She is a spiritual healer and she is also a marriage commissioner. So welcome, Shannon.
Thank you for having me, Shannon. Here we have the two Shannons today.
It's kind of funny, yeah, Shannon and Shannon. So yeah, our viewers and listeners don't get confused. So Shannon, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, you can go into a little bit more in depth than what I had said. And also tell us your story of what brought you to your stillness.
Sure. Okay, well, I'm a wife and a mother, and I live on a farm south of Radville, Saskatchewan. And for the past 17 years, I've been very interested in my own spirituality. And what's actually brought me to that place of stillness was quite a tragedy in my family. In 2004, October of 2004, my brother-in-law was suddenly killed in an accident near my home.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And there shortly after, within the next 10 months, I think it was, I was carrying a child and I carried him up to 7 months and the pregnancy ended. So those two very traumatic things in my life was what brought me to my stillness. It stopped me dead in my tracks. I felt like I'm sure many people feel when they experience grief and loss, that they're in a dark hole. I've heard a lot of my clients mention that to me, that they felt they were in a dark hole, and I was there. And what was I going to do to get out of it?
Right. So what did you do to get out of it? And what were all the things that, because when we're brought to silence, that's when the universe is talking to us. And what were your messages, Shannon, at that time?
You know, when I was at my darkest moment, actually what happened to me was a good friend of mine who was a mental health nurse. She came to me and she said, Shannon, I'm so sorry your family's grieving and I wish I knew how to help you. She said, I don't know just what to say to you because I've never been where you're at, but I want to gift you something. And the gift was a deck of angel oracles.
Oh, nice.
She said, I don't know how to help you, but I know these will. And she gifted me a deck of Doreen Virtue's angel oracles. And she said, I would encourage you to each day just take those cards and say a little prayer for yourself for peace and shuffle the deck and pay very close attention to the message that comes up for you. And so what came from that was a lot of inspiration. I started feeling better day after day after day, just taking a moment to calm myself, trust in the guidance that was coming through, and pick a card for myself each day and receive that message from my angels. So that was really what got me so interested in feeling and knowing that I don't have to stay in this place of darkness, in this grief.
Right.
Yeah, and so it was such an awakening for me. And the more I learned about connecting with my angels, of course, I had a really hard time believing that my brother-in-law was here one minute and gone the next. I always felt there had to be something more. Like, where did his spirit go? he's not just here and then dead and gone. I couldn't seem to accept that in my mind and my heart. That felt so wrong to me. And so I actually picked up some books from Sylvia Browne. Was really where I got inspired, was through Sylvia Browne. And reading a lot of her material just led me down the path of awareness, that the spirit does go on. We evolve, and we continue even though we're no longer on the earth plane.
Right.
So
right.
I had so many messages along the way from my brother-in-law's spirit, our baby's spirit, my grandmother's spirit, things that happened to me that just couldn't be a coincidence. It was like, wow, like so profound. And my very first experience with mediumship was recommended to me from a friend as well. And actually what happened during that session really amazed me, and it made me such a believer in the afterlife, and such good evidence that there really is something beyond this world that keeps us connected with our loved ones.
And
Yeah.
you and I have a lot of the same beliefs too, because I know, like, there are signs that are constantly around me, especially on a daily basis. Like, I see my angel numbers constantly, or I'll think of something, and then the next thing you know, whatever I'm thinking about will come into fruition. And I know that the universe is constantly talking to me because I'm talking to them. And my silence, I've said in previous podcasts that when I want to tell them something, or if they want to tell me something, I know that I'm brought to my silence and my stillness. So I crave that now, and I know when I need to go into my silence. And
Yes.
that would be the exact same thing for you also.
Right. And often I found meditation very helpful as well. I've put that into my daily practice, where I'll sit in the silence each day, do a bit of journaling, ask spirit, what is it you want me to know? I think it's very important for us to shut off the monkey brain and go into our heart center. And
Yes.
that really is the place where we're going to find our peace.
And
I strive to
I'm like
there.
you. I'm like you. I meditate every single day, every morning when I get up. And I find that if I don't have my moment of silence and my meditation, my whole day is off, because that's a part of who I am now. That's my connection with one. And it's just, yeah, it just puts me in a tither. So I always make a point. And even if it's like a minute or 2 minutes that I'm in that state of meditation, I'm totally fine, because all I want is the answers, or all I want to do is set that intention of what I am to do that day.
Absolutely. And I've actually learned a lot along the way with the positive affirmations, which I'm sure you do yourself, and so many people in the world are doing that now. And I saw one just last week that I thought, wow, I have to share that with people, because it was all about creating abundance. And I'd love to share it with you all as well. It went like this: I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I thought, wow, that is so powerful. You're just putting that out there, that you have the belief and you're open to receive. And I think people can truly be inspired if they open up to that. Life doesn't have to be a struggle. That's really what I want to bring forward today for people, is to talk about how, we're not meant to struggle.
No.
We're meant to enjoy our life and have a beautiful life.
Right.
And we have so many wonderful things that are available for us to help keep our energy high, connect us with our angels. There's great resources out there.
There's great resources out there, but I think the biggest thing that I got from, doing my meditations was that really brought me forward to my self-awareness. And that is one thing I really find with people, that they don't really know who they are. And it's just, and that is where, I look at me with my future, with me I'm creating a program now, and it's specifically designed for people to to get to know who they really are. And,
Right.
and you need to know who you really are in order to set your goals, your dreams, to go forward, and also to raise your vibration.
Exactly. If we're not loving and respecting, honoring ourselves and our true self and our higher self, and asking ourselves, what are we here to do? What is the big
Exactly.
picture here? I
Exactly.
was in healthcare for 23 years, knowing that I needed to help people. I knew that from a very young age. I was 4 years old, and I would be in the grocery store with my mother trying to help other people, elderly people in the grocery store.
Mhm.
Because I had this strong pull, knowing that I needed to help people. And as I grew older and came into the awareness of what I really was meant to do, I feel now that it's a lot about love, and I'm just to anchor love to the earth,
Yeah,
anchoring love from heaven to earth.
right. Right.
That's what fills my cup, and that's what I'm here to do. And I take every opportunity I can to help people get connected, with their higher self, and whatever they may be meant to realize here in this life.
So now that you know what position you are to do in life, your life purpose, what is it that you want people to know about you? Because you've gone through that journey of self-awareness, you know who you are, you know what your life purpose is. And so what is it that you want people to know?
Well, I think what I want them to know most of all is that there's no need at all to suffer in this life. That's the big takeaway for me. I did suffer myself for quite some time, trying to maneuver and find my way to peace. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not there 100% yet. I don't think we ever
I don't
are.
think you ever are either, Shannon.
We're on the walk of faith here. And I think if we can just really keep a hold of our faith and our trust in ourselves, and awareness, and always be open to learn something new, because myself, I'm even picking up new things every day. Like I had mentioned with the affirmation I came across last week. So I'd love to show you a few of the things that I do daily
Absolutely.
that helps me, and maybe it will help you as well.
So for those of you viewers, I just want to let you know that this is also going to be on my YouTube channel too, but I will have this put in my notes on my Facebook page. So whatever Shannon is going to do now, you can go onto the YouTube channel and you can actually view her doing this too. So, okay, continue,
Okay.
Shannon.
Okay, so a product that I came across that I really like, and I actually recommend it to a lot of my clients, is this little baby, and it's an essential oil called Valor.
I have that at home.
Okay, it's a blend. It's a blend of several different oils in the one, but what makes it very unique is, number one, it's like a chiropractor in a bottle. So you can use it to adjust your spine, align your spine. But what I learned about it is that it is really great for combating anxiety and depression and anything like that, because it will pass through the blood-brain barrier. So this is what I often do every morning, even though I claim and I say I don't suffer anxiety, depression, but I do this just, to make me feel really great. It has a way of balancing your emotional, mental, and physical energy.
So you're just
Slow,
inhaling.
deep breath into one nostril, slow, deep breath into the other, and keep passing it back and forth to each nostril for about 2 minutes. And it's really amazing the way you will feel after you take 2 minutes a day to bring out your valor.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, okay, that one's good to know.
Okay, let me share with you something that I learned at a drumming retreat. That I went to a drumming circle, and some native gals showed us how to do a sage smudge.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a little seashell here with some sage in my pot, and I'm going to go through these very quickly for you guys. Keep in mind, sometimes when you're doing it as a meditation, of course, you would do it slower. Just take your time and let the energy resonate into your heart. Okay, but being we're just doing a demonstration today. So I'm just going to get my pot burning here a little bit and smudging. And the idea is to just let the sage come over your body to cleanse you and clear you. Okay, so there's words attached. You'd place your hands over the sage pot and bring the sage towards your body. And I like to say, bless all I say today. Bless all I see today. Bless all I think today. Bless all I hear today. Bless everything I touch today. Bless everywhere I go today. Bless my past that I've left it behind. Bless all my family, friends, relations, and ancestors. And most of all, bless my heart with peace. Bless my heart with peace. Bless my heart with peace. And I swear to you, instant for me, it's instant. I feel I just get grounded, centered, connected to spirit, and feel fabulous when I take a minute or two a day to do my sage smudge.
That one was beautiful, Shannon.
Give it a try. It works.
That one was very beautiful.
Yeah, it really resonated with me when these native gals showed it to us and offered us to come and join their circle and take part. It resonated with me. So I've been doing it now for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And sharing it with everybody.
I've
Something else that I like to do is as well, vibrational energy therapy. Oh, I have hockey boys, so I always have a puck.
Oh, the hockey puck.
Everybody has a puck. And this is actually a tuning fork that vibrates to 528 megahertz of energy. So there's my tuning fork. And this fork is the vibration of love. 528 megahertz, the vibration of love. So I feel like we all have a responsibility every day to work on bringing our energy up, be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. So I sometimes will do this to myself in the morning when I feel my energy's a little low. So you just hold the tuning fork very lightly and let it bounce. And you want to bounce it onto something that will be grounding. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I go down the meridian, pass it from one ear to the next, and center it around the heart.
Do you feel that within your body, Shannon?
I do. I feel the vibration starting to happen in my body when I use the tuning fork.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd actually taken a class about chakra balancing and energy healing, vibrational therapy. And I had an opportunity once to be part of a sound bath. And I would highly recommend that for people as well if they have the opportunity to take part in a sound bath. It really lifts your spirit up beyond this earthly dimension.
Yeah, I've done a sound bath.
Yes.
And that opened up a lot, boy. Just out of the blue, I just started crying.
Yes.
And because of the releases that happened to me during this.
Right. And also I had quite an experience with breath work once. I took part in a breath work ceremony, and they had you breathe in as deeply as you can down to the lower belly, filling up, keep filling that breath up as far as you can. Then open your mouth nice and wide and let it all out along with all the emotion you've been storing. The problem was I couldn't release the breath. My throat chakra was vibrating so much, it wouldn't let it out.
Wow.
And when I called the instructor over, and when the breath finally released, of course, tears came streaming down, and I felt like an opera singer. My girlfriend was laying beside me, and she said, "You must have went on for about 7 minutes in that one release."
Wow.
The breath just kept coming and the sound kept coming, and I kept crying. And at the end, I just felt like I'd been reborn almost. And
right.
the instructor said to me, "And you, my dear, will start speaking your truth.
Right.
Your throat chakra was blocked, and it's time to speak up and tell the world what they need to know."
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful moment for me.
Oh, for sure.
Healing.
For sure. Well, good for you, Shannon.
Yeah. What else do I have to show you? Well, I also use a couple of books that I find very helpful. And these are not books that I've written, but they're just authors that I've picked up along the way. Heal Your Body A to Z with Louise Hay.
Love Louise Hay.
Yeah, I love her book. I have a story behind this book. When my brother-in-law passed, my sister-in-law, she started having shingles, and she had shingles over and over and over and over. Couldn't get rid of the shingles. And so she was going to the doctor and taking pills. And I asked her a few months into it, would you be willing to take a look at this book and try something different? Because the pills aren't working. And she said, sure, I'll try anything. And the idea was to use the phrase, like, I'm no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop. All is well, because she was holding the energy. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? Who's going to be the next one to suddenly pass? And it was going to really, in truth, be nobody. So once she was able to switch that thought around a bit, and use that positive affirmation, the shingles cleared up, went away, never to bother her again.
I just want to say to our audience members too, that Louise Hay, I've got the book at home, but she has got a section in, oh, I wish I would have had that book here, where, of course, your body holds energy. Well, we are made of energy, but anything that your body holds on to, it will come out in different forms. And that's where our ailments are.
Right.
And she's got a list. So say, for example, this past weekend, I woke up on Saturday morning and my wrist and my forearm were just hurting me. And I went to bed, I was totally fine. But when I woke up in the morning, I know myself so well, and I know that my body was trying to tell me something. So it was like, okay, what is it that I'm holding within my body? Is it fear? Like, what is it? And so I took her book out and I looked up wrist, and I looked up, it was wrist, and I can't, oh, and hand is what it was. And it was telling me to basically not work so hard, and I need to release the anger or whatever I was holding within. And I knew exactly what I was to release, because intuitively it told me right away. But once I sat with myself and I released what I needed to release, what had been bothering me that whole week, and I was becoming overwhelmed with my work that I'm doing, interviews with podcasts, because I interviewed like 6 people last week. So I was overwhelmed, and my body, sure enough, was telling me to slow down, go with ease, go with the flow. And because I was resisting, because I needed to get all of this stuff done in my mind. And once I sat down, and really thought about it, and kind of took Saturday, didn't do a lot at all. Yesterday, Sunday, just kind of, did the stuff that I needed to around the house. And I woke up today and I'm $1 million. And I know that, but that one book, I wish I knew the name of it. But anyways,
she has several.
This is a series of 3, where it also has, one book has got the affirmations, the other ones is the body parts, and then where the ailments are and what the meanings are, those ailments within the body parts. But
exactly, the releasing is so important.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll share a little story with you guys as well. A few years ago, I was in a similar situation where I woke up completely deaf. Wow. Very scary, very scary. I woke up completely deaf in both ears, ran off to the ER. They sent me to the ear specialist, who led me to an MRI. And it's kind of crazy how it all went down, because I was told I had a meningioma in my brain. And I started using this book, because they told me there's really nothing you can do. Just go at home and wait it out and hope that it passes. Or they weren't really considering doing any type of treatment or anything to try to dissolve it. And I was, of course, in panic mode. Did you just tell me I have a brain tumor? What is happening? Right? But this book led me to healing myself.
That one's called The Secret Language of Your Body. And who's that by, Shannon?
It's by Ina Segal.
Ina Segal. Okay.
Right. And I turned to Healing Your Brain. And they give you a prayer to say, or like a divine healing energy affirmation to say each day. And I did that for 21 days, as well as using my pendulum. I often work with pendulum, and I will ask to clear and just let the pendulum swing and do its thing. And after 21 days, I went back to the neurologist, and he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. It is calcified. Shannon, it's calcified. It's gone."
Wow.
And of course I cried, and I said, "Thank God," or whoever, whatever higher source that helped clear that. But I totally 100% believe that it was my actions, that I took action, and I was not willing to accept that I have this.
It was total faith and belief.
I have cancer, I have MS, I have this and that. Be a proactive activist in your healing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of focusing on what the problem is, how can we heal it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The body is an amazing thing. And I think with given the right tools, we really can heal ourselves on all levels.
And I believe that 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So one last thing I want to share with you, of course, because I started out the story with my angel cards. So just for fun today, let's have a little card reading here. And this is going to be for the good of everybody, anybody that sees the podcast. So I always start by concentrating my deck, and I will go through touching each card, just clearing it and concentrating it, touching each card as I go through. I also like to hold it in my non-dominant hand, leaving space behind, and a tap there to clear it. So we say the intention and the blessing. So I always say something like this. Today we call upon Mother God, Father God, all the angels and spirits and guides to help us to be grounded, centered in our hearts, and connected to spirit today. Allow this message to be inspirational and easy to understand, and most of all, touch many hearts, bringing awareness, light, and love. Okay, so then I mix them in a way that I'm just looking for the one that wants to pop out. And this one flew right out of the deck onto the ground. So the card that's come up today is the Akasha. Okay, it's the card Akasha, and it says, "You are a spiritual teacher, and you have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their own spiritual gift. Know that this is your divine mission in life." So if that feels right to you, grab onto it.
That is 100%. That is 100% me. Yes, that was excellent. And you too, right?
Yes, and perhaps others that will be watching that will say that's me.
No, that is excellent.
So when I do my readings, I often will also feel other energy come in, not just the message from the angels. I did train with James Van Praagh and was trained in mediumship. I took a 6-month intensive course with James Van Praagh to become a licensed spiritual medium. And that is really where my forte and my passion lies. I love to be able to connect my cousin with her baby that passed, and talk to my brother-in-law and my own child and many other people. So what will happen during a session is we talk to the angels, and once we open that door, all of a sudden we feel the loved ones come in. And we'll start feeling a male or a female energy, and maybe the male energy is talking about his red car, or the female's talking about the fact that she did a lot of cooking in her lifetime. And we just go with it from there, and just allow whatever needs to come through to come in. And I'm just the conveyor of the message. I always say, don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
I just bring through whatever comes to my awareness. Sometimes it comes through a feeling. I might get some pain in my chest and ask the client, did your loved one pass of a heart issue? Something like that. Yeah, and it's amazing the healing that can come. I feel so very blessed that I'm able to do this.
Right.
I really do feel so blessed. I understand it's maybe not for everybody. Some people don't care for that, and that's fine. But anyone that's willing to reach out to me for help, I'm very happy to help them connect with their loved one and bridge that gap between heaven and earth.
Right. Oh, Shannon, we've learned so much today from you. Good for you. And thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
But I got my last question for you is, so where are you now? So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, or tell me, just
right. Okay. So I have created a website. The website's at Soulawarenessbyshannonlynn.ca. That's where the website is. I'm also on Facebook under Soul Awareness with Shannon. And where I'm at today is I'm just really, focused on my business and helping people as well. I also continue to work on myself. So always once or twice a year, I have some type of a healing session or something done for myself. But one of my most precious things that have come out of my business is the session that has come to be named the Gift of Love. And what it is a 30-day coaching session where I will reach out to you each day it's usually through Messenger or Facebook or FaceTime, and bring you a little message from the angels. And a lot of people like to gift this session to their loved ones that are going through a tough time. They just need that little extra cushion of love as they go through the month after the tragedy, or, it really says, I'm here, your angels are here. Let's grab a hold of you and pull you through your rough time. So I was actually so grateful that a friend of mine reached out to me and told me the story of her cousin that was a young woman passing of cancer, and what could I do for her as she's in the hospital, and what could I offer for her. And that was how the Gift of Love came to be.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So as well as that, I also offer spiritual session. I just call it a spiritual session, which is with 4 different modalities. It starts off with a little bit of numerology and self-awareness, some spiritual dowsing with a chart. And then we also go into an angel reading as well as the mediumship. So I kind of bundle it all into the hour and a half session, and it's done through Zoom or FaceTime, something like that. Yeah. So, and yeah, I'm a mom and my kids are all raised up now. My youngest just turned 18. So I'm excited to see where the next chapter of life takes me. I have in the past done a lot of shamanic journeys and did some fire walking down in Sedona. So I would really love to go back and have the fire
I want to go to Sedona.
Let's go, Shannon.
Okay. I want to go. Yeah, maybe
coming up in May.
Oh, okay. We might have to talk about that one for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I would really like to
And
go.
one last thing, I often recommend my clients to grab themselves a rose quartz crystal, a clear quartz crystal. The power of the crystals is so wonderful for healing as well. So especially if you've been through any kind of loss or grief, if you grab yourself a rose quartz pendant and that rose quartz hangs over your heart, it really does make a difference in your energy field. So I always tell people, grab it. Gift yourself a rose quartz.
Yeah, I've got the rose quartzes at home. Also, I've got one in a pendant. But when you held that up, it's perfectly round. It almost looked like a golf ball.
Yeah, this one is.
Now I know what it is. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
I do like the double terminated ones too that are pointy on the top and bottom. They say they have the ability to keep your energy channel running. So if you're wanting to channel and connect with loved ones on the other side or something like that, the double terminated crystals are really wonderful for that energy connection.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Shannon. And I just want all of our listeners to know too that all of Shannon's information will be at the bottom of the notes of the podcast. So if you want more information regarding Shannon, how to get a hold of her, her website, all of it, it's all going to be written there. So thank you so much, Shannon, for being a guest on Fear Fighter. And we are going to talk more perhaps about that Sedona. And thank you so much. Is there any final words you would like to say to our guests out there?
Just thank you so much as well, Shannon. And I just want to just say to everyone, remember, you're too blessed to be stressed. So let's live a life of stress-free and happiness and peace and love. And if you're ever struggling, don't ever think twice about reaching out. There are lots of people in the world that want to help you.
Yes, that is so true. Thank you very much, Shannon.
Thank you.